The NBA is making millions off sports betting. They promote it everywhere, they are partners with betting companies, and build entire broadcasts around it. This is the NBA's biggest double standard, and it's not being talked about enough. In this video, we're exposing the league's sports betting hypocrisy. How they went all in on gambling, why the rules are completely different for players, and what it means for the future of the game. So how did we get here? For decades, the NBA treated sports betting like it was toxic. The same league that suspends players for gambling connections, that freaked out over a ref betting on games, that called integrity its highest value, is now one of the biggest promoters of sports betting in the world. So what changed? In 2018, the Supreme Court struck down the federal ban on sports betting, and just like that, a multi-billion-dollar floodgate opened. The NBA didn't hesitate and signed a landmark deal with MGM that same year, becoming the first major US league to fully embrace legal gambling. From there, it snowballed. DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet365, Caesars, BetMGM. Every sportsbook you've ever heard of is now woven into the NBA's broadcasts, apps, and social media. They even started licensing official NBA data to betting companies. That's how deep they are. To the league, it's fan engagement. But let's be honest, it's about one thing and one thing only: money. Billions in new revenue, global expansion, and maybe most importantly, a new way to hook fans who might not care about the actual outcome of the game. From a business standpoint, it's genius. But from a moral standpoint, it's disgusting. While the NBA profits from betting on the game, the players who actually compete in it can't even look in that direction without risking everything. And to be clear, no one's saying players should be allowed to bet on their own games. Here's the problem. The NBA is profiting off sports betting while enforcing rules that barely anyone can explain. Players aren't allowed to bet on basketball, that part is obvious, but beyond that, the details get murky fast. Can they bet on football? Baseball? What about blackjack in the offseason? What if they promote a sportsbook and a personal sponsorship deal? Technically, yes they can, but players can't place any sports bets from team facilities, planes, or hotels, even if it's a random MLB game in July. The policy is strict but extremely vague, which means it's easy to violate without even knowing it. Take Jonte Porter. The NBA gave him a lifetime ban in 2024 after discovering he bet on his own games and intentionally manipulated prop bets. That punishment made sense. It crossed every line. Malik Beasley is the latest name to surface. According to the Wall Street Journal, he's now the subject of a federal investigation into alleged sports gambling violations, which may end up costing him millions in free agency. He's not alone. Multiple players, including Terry Rozier, have been quietly linked to similar probes. No official suspensions or charges, but the league is watching, and so are the feds. So put yourself in their shoes. Imagine being a 24-year-old player who is making millions of dollars. You turn on the TV only to see league-sponsored betting ads everywhere, maybe even starring your teammates, while being told you can't use the same app from the team hotel. The message from the NBA is loud and clear. We'll profit off of it. You just better not touch it. And with millions of fans now gambling legally every day, some even inside arenas, the line between entertainment and violation is getting harder to see. One wrong tap on your phone could end your career. If you're wondering how players are supposed to navigate all this, the truth is, a lot of them have no idea. The NBA updates its gambling guidelines every year, and with each new sportsbook partner, there's more fine print and confusion. It's like being asked to follow the rules of a game no one ever taught you, while the referees keep moving the goalposts. The league's policy might seem clear on paper, but on the ground, players are frustrated, confused, and often flying blind. And that's exactly how the NBA likes it. Full control with zero accountability. There's never been a time where gambling was more intertwined with the NBA than right now. In Washington, Capital One Arena, home of the Wizards, now houses a Caesars sportsbook with betting windows and kiosks built directly into the concourse. It was the first sportsbook ever placed inside a US pro sports venue. It launched in 2020 under a William Hill partnership. The entire experience surrounds the game with bets. That's the point. In Chicago, the United Center is building a 2-story FanDuel lounge next to the arena's atrium. It's designed specifically for in-arena betting once the licensing clears. Even before it's operational, it already serves as a hub pushing fans toward mobile gambling apps. In just a few years, betting has gone from a side topic to a core part of the NBA experience. It's baked into the broadcast, the arena layout, and the league's own digital platforms. The game isn't just for fans anymore, it's built for sports bettors. But here's where the tension starts. Fans are being pulled deeper into this world, while players are being held to a completely different standard. The consequences of that system aren't just felt by players, they're starting to show up in the fans too, especially the youngest ones. Because the more normalized betting becomes, the more dangerous it gets. Studies show gambling addiction is rising fast among young men, particularly in the 18 to 24 age range. That includes college kids and even high schoolers who are betting on games on their parents' account. Sports betting apps make it unbelievably easy. A few taps and you're in, and because it's legal and everywhere, it doesn't feel risky until it is. Teenagers are blowing through paychecks, running up credit card debt, and losing thousands chasing long shot parlays. It's not just a hobby anymore, it's a pipeline, and the NBA is part of it. When the league turns gambling into the default way to watch a game, what message does that send? Young fans don't just track stats and highlights anymore, they track over-unders. They grow up thinking every game is a chance to win money, and when they lose, the cycle repeats. It's a system that's actively turning young fans into lifelong gamblers before they've even been taught what addiction looks like, and the league rarely talks about it, because it's not good for business. The NBA is cashing in, and players and fans are paying the price. So why does the league let this happen? Simple. They want the money. In the first 4 months of 2025, NBA betting handle dropped slightly by 5.5% year over year, but sportsbook revenue climbed 14%, in part due to the surge in same-game parlays and higher margin bets. Even more revealing, parlays now make up a huge slice of total bets. A Wall Street Journal report found that in key betting states like Illinois and New Jersey, same-game parlay volume hit 27% of all sports wagers in 2024, up from just 22% in 2021. Now imagine being an NBA player in this environment. Every move you make is now a statistic that society gambles on. Only 2 threes? Your DMs are flooded with death threats and negative comments. Every night we see conspiracy theories about how the NBA is rigged. The stakes have never felt more personal, and the NBA is fully aware. The NBA wants to say it controls this system, but once you let gambling wash over everything, control becomes an illusion. So now that gambling is a core part of the NBA experience, players aren't just athletes anymore, they're walking prop bets. And when those prop bets don't hit, the backlash is personal. Guys are doing their jobs, playing through injuries, flying city to city, and still getting hit with angry DMs because someone's parlay didn't cash. You don't see that with normal jobs. Nobody threatens a bank teller because they forgot to process a deposit. No one sends death threats to their Uber driver for missing a turn. But in the NBA, miss a 3 and suddenly you're the worst player to ever exist and are rigging games. It's insane. It doesn't matter how hard you played or why something happened, all that matters is the money someone lost because you didn't hit the over. Kevin Durant is notorious for clapping back at fans who cross the line, and more players are following his lead. Tyrese Halliburton has experienced it too. On the Pat McAfee show, he revealed how fans now verbally heckle him in arenas when bets go south. It's becoming routine, and it isn't healthy, because deep down, they know the data. Fans who gamble watch longer, spend more, and engage more often. That's why they built betting into the app. That's why they push odds and broadcasts. That's why arenas have sportsbook lounges. But when fans weaponize that access and cross the line, it's the players who take the hit. And if the league doesn't get ahead of this, we're not far from a future where players need security details just to leave the court after blowing someone's over. The NBA doesn't need a scandal to realize things have gone too far. The warning signs are everywhere. This isn't just about betting partnerships anymore. It's about how the entire dynamic between players and fans has shifted. Jalen Brunson has said fans won't stop messaging him over missed threes. Jaylen Brown had to call out fake fans who only care about their tickets. The NBA built this wave of engagement, micro-betting, in-game odds, player props, and now players are left absorbing the blowback. Every possession isn't just pressure from a coach, it's millions of eyes tracking every stat. Fans aren't reacting to the game anymore, they're reacting to spreads. The league keeps selling the upside, but they're ignoring the cost. And if they don't get ahead of this now, the next step won't be a DM. It'll be an incident. The question now isn't if the NBA has a betting problem, it's whether they'll admit it before someone gets hurt.